deserve to get this.
When I sit down and write and recite for the mic I hold, make sure my beats are loud and bold and cold. 187, that is my name, making it simple and plain. Here to rearrange and change the things that I couldn't do in the past. Don't be surprised when you got a shot. Get up your ass, perpetrators. That one was just for you. I'm gonna leave the in your seat with mango without a clue. Clues to my style like a feet on coke. But if you say the wrong thing, I wash your mouth with soap. No, it's not the answer. No, I'm not a cancer. No, I'm not a hero of zero, but a Leo in stereo. And this is not a demo. Chaos and go back. Keep cutting the flex tempo back.
Fingerprints ain't nothing without the murder weapon. Keep stepping. Homicide try to sweat, but we let them have it. You can see the fear through their teeth. Treat them like Rolaids and give them some relief.
This is Gun Hill Depot, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. And if you think that this Depot review is going to be a walk in the park, then ho, buddy, you got no idea. The routes that Gun Hill has are the BX4, BX4A, BX5, BX12, local and chicken select, BX16, BX22, BX24, BX25, BX26, BX28, BX29, BX30, BX34, BX38, BX39, BX40, BX41, local and chicken select bus service, and BX42. The buses that Gun Hill has are the Nova LFS, Nova LFS Hybrid, Nova LFSA, and Excelsiors XD40s. You knew that shit was gonna be the last one. Don't act like you ain't know. Now let me be nice first, because I know a great majority of y'all know exactly where the fuck this shit is headed. And we know that the Bronx is the king of L's for New York, and I'm here to deliver to you the source of the reason why. Simply put, Knuckles gots the goods. And it starts with the very thing that is a catalyst to building communities in the first place: transportation. Now, why am I mentioning this in a Gun Hill video, you ask? Because Gun Hill solos everybody else for taking L's in the Bronx. And to prove that, we're gonna have an L counter in the corner, and the ultimate lightweight over here is gonna help me with the sound effects. But like I said, I'm gonna be nice. History trip. Oh yeah, it's going down. Prior to the construction of the depot, the site was a garbage and toxic waste dump. God damn! We just starting and it's like, never mind. In 1979, the MTA was like, we gonna turn that shit into a depot. And on September 10th, 1989, that's exactly what happened. It also for a short time replaced the old Kingsbridge depot. The depot also contains heavy maintenance facilities. Busy out here taking notes from East New York and shit. In 1992, the MTA built a Little League baseball field on an adjacent site 1 block west of the depot. That's nice. You can take one off of that one. The MTA also owned a lot south of the depot until 2014, which was leased and used as a driving range from 1999 to 2010. The land was originally planned for an expansion of the depot or a new central rebuild facility, but as you can see. Speaking of land space, this bad boy was built on undeveloped land. No, not yet. But magically, y'all are operating. And thanks to the solar panels that y'all installed on top of the roof in June of 1996, y'all doing good because it now provides 40% of the depot's power. A for effort. Sad to say I can't say the same thing about the maintenance because holy shit! 1 out of 2 of the biggest problems that I have with Gun Hill. Holy shit. And here's the thing. Back in the day, Gun Hill had nothing but legendary equipment, ranging from RTSs. Hell, they were the first ones to even start off the ZF RTSs. Yes, the same ones that was in Omer Park Depot. Diesel Orion 5s. The pilot bus to the forever goated Orion 7 CNG old gens. Fuck the next gens, but more on that later. And of course, every Bronx bus fan's favorite, the New Flyer D60HF Galaxies. Various legendary buses that will make any bus fan lose their shit, minus that piece of trash next gen. But that doesn't mean shit if your maintenance is cheeks. Every time you see a Gun Hill bus, it's always fucked up. And don't you sit up there looking at this screen like you dumbfounded, talking about, I never knew. You knew what this was. As soon as you clicked on this video, it was a wrap. You're talking to somebody who's literally seen an Orion 5 with the back top grate open, flying down Gun Hill on a BX28. Now, moving on. Timing. Jesus! if you live by a Gun Hill route, may God bless your motherfucking soul. Now I get it, there's traffic all throughout New York City throughout the day, and the Bronx is no exception to that rule. And I can't give you guys too much shit for it because we're just coming out of a pandemic, and you gotta make service wherever you can. But on a normal day, boy, the amount of shit that happens on a Gun Hill line. Between fights, shootouts, robberies, school kids, Soundview, and other niggardly shit. All that shit is a recipe for a disaster. But that ain't even the worst part. Overnight timing. Forget the B-35 in the middle of Brownsville. You want the true rock bottom? You come out to the Bronx in the middle of the night, where fuck shit is at its peak. You better pray to God that if you have to come out to the Bronx, make sure your destination is by a train. Because if not, and you gotta take a bus after that, and it's a Gun Hill bus on top of that, my Buddha in Christ, cancel your trip. Unless if your destination's by the one train, don't do it. Tell whoever it is that you linking up with to meet you in Manhattan somewhere, especially if they live by the BX5. My second biggest gripe with this depot is the fact that they control majority of the routes that's in the Bronx. Just like LaGuardia Depot. The only difference is that you didn't have a come up like LaGuardia Depot did. You are a map stower depot. The cream of the crop in terms of the MTA. Allegedly. LaGuardia came up as a different company, and that was Triborough Coach Court. And given their history, it's fine for them to make mistakes along the way, because they already hit rock bottom already, and they're trying to climb their way out as we speak. They are just now getting their feet together. Whereas Gun Hill was great, and then all of a sudden, next you know, once the 2000s hit, I would say late 2000s, that's when they started becoming shit. And it stayed shit for a long ass time. And it's still yet to even get out of being shit in the first place. And then doubled down by having Next Gens being a depot on top of that. To be honest, I'd rather every depot throughout New York City send all their Next Gens to Gun Hill. Or at least whatever's left of them. Got niggas terrified to send Gun Hill new buses because of the fact that they know for a fact that all them shits is gonna get fucked up at some point. Now don't get me wrong, they're not like Green Line levels of bad, but fuck around with them long enough and trust me, you'll start thinking otherwise. Riding on the Gun Hill bus makes you think about your life decisions, cause you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Probably the only depot in history that I could tell you solidly, don't ride the bus. But if you ain't got no choice, fuck it. And speaking of fuck it, the BX28. How is it that that is your star player and that shit is fucked up beyond repair? Fuck the BX12, even though, yeah, sure, the BX12, you know, BX12 is a good way to get across from one place to another. And that was the first Chicken Select bus, like, ever in the city. So, yeah. And the reason why we call it the Chicken Select bus service in the first place is because of the fact that that came out the same time as the McDonald's Chicken Select tenders. So, yeah.
And thank God that Gun Hill knows not to stress out over the fare, because, you know, we all know niggas don't pay their fare.
But at the same time, the BX28 is your star motherfucking player. It literally goes down via Gun Hill. But yet, it's nowhere to be found like Eggman's hairline. And yes, sure, you can counter argue that with traffic, but at the same time, that only goes but so far. Cause look at the BX40 and 42. They go across the entire Bronx. Yeah, sure, they have traffic along the way, but it's nowhere near to the point where they're not showing up entirely. Hell, the routes that go down side streets are even worse. Prime example, the BX34. Where the fuck is that bus? Hell, that bus is more of a unicorn than the M21. Now I can go on about each and every route that's out of this depot, but the thing is that we'll be here all night, and I'm not trying to do that shit. And like I said, in terms of the Bronx redesign, I'll leave that up to you guys, because I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about that, especially with Gun Hill's routes. And trust and believe, that is a whole can of worms that I damn sure am not opening up right now. The theme song for Gun Hill Depot is Murder Rap by Above the Law. If you ever played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, then you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. How that came to be is, well, I was on the BX28 on a Next Gen at the time, and I was just busy listening to the song. But for some strange reason, that song goes well with Next Gens, especially Gun Hill's Next Gens. Probably because of the fact that the beat is so smooth, but, you know, whatever. Plus, it's the only thing that I could see fitting with Gun Hill because of the surrounding areas that all the buses go to, especially Soundview. Now, I will say this much. For Gun Hill, As a positive, when it comes to subway shuttles, they are there. I will definitely give them that. And they will operate through any type of weather that there is. And for that, I tip my hat to them. And as of recent, with the Novas and the new buses coming in, they've actually gotten a little bit better. Just by a smidgen. But at least there's progress somewhere. Hopefully it continues to get better. Because at this point, from where I'm standing, it looks like Gun Hill Depot is the Dallas Cowboys of the MTA. And as a certain Stephen A. Smith would say, what can go wrong will go wrong. We just gotta wait and see what the future holds. Hopefully you guys understand exactly why the Bronx takes as many L's as it does. And that's just off of Gun Hill Depot alone. And don't get me wrong, again, I do understand that you guys control a good majority of the lines that's in the Bronx. And it's hard to keep track of all of them in the first place. Not only that, but then also trying to juggle to maintain those buses in the first place. And I get it. But then, at the same time, I bring your attention over to Jackie Gleason Depot. It holds a good majority of lines in Brooklyn. And there's no issue. Grand Avenue is another one. As much as I shit on Gun Hill and the Bronx entirely, believe me, I hope that, if anything, good fortune comes their way. So like I said, let's see what happens.
I'll give Gun Hill a 6.5 out of 10. And that's me being nice. Honestly, big shout out to the guys that work at Gun Hill. Despite all your flaws, you still go hard in the paint. And we just got no choice but to respect that. You guys are pushing as best as you guys can. And on top of that, the areas y'all serve too? Nah, whoever drives to Gun Hill automatically has the juice. So with that said, this is Knuckles of the Super Subway Brothers. You guys have a great night. And wait, wasn't he just... Well, I guess Edgy McHedgy decided to bounce. Well, it does make sense. He was on break from work. Well, damn, he was the key to my outro. It was gonna be a shootout and everything. Well, I guess I could try to figure out...
Aw shit, look who it is. It's Red Turtle. Heard you was talking shit about the boogie down.
12 seconds later.
Oh no, Foot Clan, get his ass! Get his ass!
Of course, because this is the Bronx and niggas be tripping. A police car? Hey, guys, wait!
Nah, that's Sanchez in the car. Drive faster, nigga.
Sanchez, you fuck!
You done fucked up.
Fingerprints ain't nothing without the murder weapon. Keep stepping. Homicide trying to sweat, but we let it happen. You can see the fear through their teeth. Treat them like rolades and give them some relief.
I feel action. Speaks loud in the words and verbs and adjectives. I live the life to give the gift. Not who's first, second, or third. Not he said or she said or what you heard, nerd. Cause when you live like that, your life is mango. It never works, your life is all tangled up. I'm not a sucker, always go for mine. Power law, that's all from the start. And he will always come. To the top as I seek and achieve. Sometimes that's even higher than the others believe. I'm not a doctor, not a board. I don't have to degree. Not ever get even to the point of the epitome. Dictate, recline, keep records in line. Transform to another world as I recite these rhymes. 187, he's as hard as it comes. And I don't have to brag about the size of my gun, son.
As notorious. Brothers gotta learn hip hop anger ranges inside themselves. Yo, Fleet another position, my contact chaos in the homie G.
187 breaking backbone on my group. Basket in my posse and I'm getting loose. Cause I'm taking out spots, causing bodily harm. Making moves to improve as I begin to brainstorm. I'm not inferior, not taking no crap. Last sucker try to diss me, cold, got a snack slap. Cause power's my name, sometimes I'm insane. And if I get too mad, I have to rearrange. No position as an MC, that's the way it should be. The way I get over, I use terminology. That's comprehensive, redemptive, that's evidently not related to the style that you hear every day. Destroyed, destroying, and torn, and torn, while the other suckers are depressed. I'm enjoying what I'm doing and ruin anyone's hope for my